All right, YouTube, don't mind the LED lights because I've tried, all right? But I think it's time. Now, I've done this video. I don't even know how long ago I did this. But when I had added up, added more characters to this, we had, like, I think double this time. So it had to be a long time since we've gotten this updated, since we don't even touch pilgrims, right? I haven't added any of the pilgrims from this year onto this tier list right here, right? But basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be ranking pilgrims from the very best to the worst, right? All the ones in the game from the very best to the very worst. I was gonna do this earlier, but I wanted to wait for Grave to come out and try out Grave and stuff like that before I did this. Now, I am very, 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 very confident in what I'm about to do. I know right there that right there is like, ooh, let's sit up, because that means if he's very confident he's about to have the most accurate tier list. Probably not, right? Probably I think it depends on what everybody values, right? But I'm gonna try to be as realistic as possible for this. This is gonna be unbiased, of course, and who I feel like is the order for pilgrims from best to worst, right? So we're gonna start from the top and we're gonna go from the bottom. So the very top is Red Hood. I think Red Hood is easily the best pilgrim in the game. You can't tell me otherwise. She's the only burst 1, 2, and 3 character in the game, and she's a triple S god tier burst 1 and a triple S god tier burst 3. Nobody else can do that, so she's literally 1. Now at 2, this is where it starts to become hard, because I have either Cinderella or Crown, right? And honestly, I'm going to put Crown over there and Cinderella in 3. My thing is, I do think Cinderella is very, very good, right? I think Cinderella is very, 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 very good. But my thing is, Crown's, her support is so good that she literally makes it that any characters, sorry if I hit you guys there, any characters you have on your team is good, right? I don't want to say like, oh, any character you have on your account, any character you have on your team with Crown now becomes pilgrim level, but they definitely become like 200% better than what they were before. And that's just the reality. Like, this character Crown is so good. Insane reload speed, insane attack damage, insane attack buffs, insane sustain with her shielding. She has taunt, and when she taunts, she's immortal for 5 seconds. Like, she is insane. I'm sorry. I know Crown does or Cinderella does a lot of damage. I know Cinderella does godlike damage, but it's hard for me to ever say Cinderella is better than Crown in reality, right? And I know I had just made like an overall tier list, which I still have to add Grave into that, but I'm going to fix that up as well, like the top 10 rankings, because I do think Crown is still the second best in the game. I would say this is literally top 3 characters in the game, 1, 2, and then 3, right? At 4, I have Scarlet Black Shadow. I would have had her obviously at 3 initially, but because Cinderella hits harder than Black Shadow Scarlet, I'm obviously gonna have Cinderella over her. All Scarlet has, this Black Shadow Scarlet has to offer is literally damage. That's her whole kit. Her whole kit is based on her doing damage, and literally Cinderella does more damage than her, right? Not to mention Cinderella has a decoy as well, so that's not only is Cinderella doing more damage than Black Shadow Scarlet, but she has a decoy which is protecting her from death. You know how many times I've done so much content, and every time Cinderella is always the last one surviving because of her decoy. Literally, like, she's guaranteed going to be the last one to die just because of her decoy, and it's quite crazy to me. I'm going to have her at 3, Scarlet at 4. At 5, now this is where it becomes a bit tricky, I feel like. At the same time, not. Modernia at 5. I think Modernia is still a very good character. Would I say she's top 3 in the game now? I don't think so, right? It took me a minute to really be convinced that Modernia was better than Black Shadow Scarlet, but I just think as a unit at this point in time, Modernia is just not better than Black Shadow Scarlet. Do I think Modernia has a lot of stuff that make her good? Yeah, I think she's quite the universal character, but Scarlet's AoE, Cinderella as a character, like all these characters above her are just more universal than this Modernia. I think so. Her AoEs are just so good, and her damage output is just levels above Modernia. So at this point in time, Modernia has dropped from like top 3 to top 5 with all the other characters. Like, I'm gonna side with you guys. I think Modernia has dropped to top 5. At 6 though, I probably have Grave at 6. I think Grave is fantastic. I think Grave is a perfect sub DPS. I think Grave does great damage. I think Grave has great support, especially when it comes to the Pierce characters, right? Mind you, Grave is buffing up everybody. The only thing I don't like is that her second skill, the attack damage buff she gets, is literally less than 2 seconds, but she is getting it every single burst rotation, right? So the only thing is that, but other than that, I think Grave is a fantastic character. Would I have Grave over Modernia? Probably not, right? Especially like, it's just no, I would not. I think this right here is the guaranteed best flex burst 3 unit in the game. I think Modernia is guaranteed the best flex burst 3 unit in the game. So I do not have Grave over Modernia, but I think I have Grave over everybody else down here. Now at 7, I probably have a Scarlet, right? The OG Scarlet. Don't get me wrong, she's still a fantastic character, and I know it looks very low here, but this is a new time. Right, this is a new time. 5 out of the 6 characters above Scarlet came out in 2024. Scarlet came out at the beginning of the game. If you guys genuinely still think this OG Scarlet is a top 3 character, you're high out of your mind, right? I'm sorry, you're just high out of your mind. I'm not even doing this based on, oh, because I don't like the OG Scarlet. It's just facts. You cannot tell me this character is just better than all these other characters here. The only thing this Scarlet has to offer is damage, right? Don't get me wrong. Does she do more damage than Grave? Yes. But do I find Grave more useful than her? Yes, I do. Is she more powerful than Modernia? Yes, I do think she is stronger than Modernia damage-wise, right? But well, to an extent. But then again, I think Modernia again is just more useful than Scarlet. Like, I'm not putting Scarlet on my team as a flex burst 3 unit, right? Modernia is still being used every single day, and she's being used for a reason, right? I think Modernia is better. I think Grave also is just better than this Scarlet, right? I'm sorry. I know a lot of you guys are gonna get upset with that, but it's just the truth. And then at 8, I have Dorothy. I think Dorothy had the biggest fall off of the century. I don't think she's a bad character whatsoever, but it's hard for me to still say Dorothy's better than any of these characters, right? I don't think so. I don't think Dorothy's better than any of these characters. I just don't, right? It's really impossible for me to say that. I think she's great against bosses still. I think this right here is still great. I think the damage support, I think her whole kit is still a very good anniversary level kit, but it's just not better than the other characters above, right? Is her damage good? Yeah. Is it better than any of these other characters? No. Like, all this character has, she has a little bit of support with the damage to parts, but all these characters hit so high or so hard that they don't even need that, right? So it's like, in terms of the other characters in the game, sure, but I don't think she's better than Scarlet. I just don't. Ooh, now this is where it's gonna get hard. At like in 9 to 16 is where it's gonna get hard, because I'm ranking between these characters down here. At 9, I'm gonna have I think I'm gonna have Rapunzel, right? At 9, I think Rapunzel is where I'm gonna go with that. Rapunzel is still a very good healer. The OG Rapunzel is still one of the best healers in the game, probably top 3, right? My top 3 healers, without, this is not ranked in order, but my top 3 my top 3 like healers in the game are the Bunny Alice, this OG Rapunzel, and probably Blanc, right? That's my top 3 healers in the game, no specific order, right? So I would still say she has a lot of use. You can always have her that flex burst 1 character just for healing. She still has her revive, which I feel like her revive is honestly not as important anymore, but you definitely notice it comes in clutch when it is needed, right? So I would still say she's 9. After her, I'm going to actually have Noah, right? Now Noah, I would have had her lower way before, but Noah is just too good in PvP, right? And I'm not gonna like put her low just because she's only good in one thing. PvP is becoming more important as the day go by, just for, you know, farming arena and stuff like that, so you can get the match for your gear or your coding for upgrading your skills or even getting gems. And now with the champion arena, you know, Noah is gonna dominate there as well. So I think Noah is going up as days go by, because before I would have never had her be higher than some of these characters, but I do think that this Noah is number 10. I would say these are the top 10 pilgrims of the game. Now after her, it's kind of hard, because I don't know. I think I have either between Snow White or Haran. I'm probably gonna put, overall I'll put Haran. Overall, I will put Haran. I think Haran is still one of the best characters in the game for early. Like, if you were to start your account today and you got her, then she's gonna carry you through the game, right? Like the beginning of the game, she is. That's literally why her run was so good when she first came out, or when the game first came out or whatever, because she was so good for clearing just mobs and stuff like that, and it hasn't changed. She's still gonna do that for any new players. But I think any late game content, she's garbage. I don't think any late game content now, solo raid, union raid, I don't think any of these stories, the new stories now, I don't think she's anything good. I don't think so. And then after her, I would probably have this Snow White. I do think this Snow White is good, mainly for bosses though. Really, that if you're not like using it just to nuke bosses, then you're not using the Snow White, right? If you're not nuking bosses, what's the point? After that, I probably have the new free-to-play Rapunzel. I think she has a lot more use than the Snow White in general, but I mean, it's just no point of me using her. I could have her over the Snow White, but I don't really think so. I don't really like the way her kit works. You have to basically hold her attack in order to give an attack damage buff, and she does give an attack damage buff off her burst skill as well, which is very helpful. I think the only problem with her is that she gives herself a shield and she's only healing herself but has no taunt mechanics. If she had a taunt mechanic in some way, shape, or form, I would have put her like maybe like here, right? But because she doesn't have any of that, no damage reduction, no nothing, I'm gonna have to put her here. After that, I'm probably gonna have Snow White. Right, I think Snow White is obviously just not the greatest pilgrim, but she is definitely good. I wouldn't say she's a bad character, but I wouldn't say she's like the best pilgrim or one of the go-to pilgrims, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna have her there at what, 14. She's free to play. Like, these two are free to play, and it's so sad because these two, this one is also free to play. I would say Nylister is still a very, very okay character. Nothing too crazy. Like, I would never use Nylister. I would not. I'm sorry. With Grave and Crown in the game, I have no reason to use Nylister now. The only reason why I was using her before is because she was a burst 2 20-second cooldown pilgrim, and we didn't have any before Crown and Grave, right? The only other burst 2 pilgrim in the game was Noah, but she was on a 40-second cooldown. So now that we have Grave and now that we have Crown, Nylister's whole value goes down the drain. The only thing that she has now is the fact that she's free, right? So yeah. And then last is Isabel, right? Isabel is just garbage. I'm sorry. She does no damage. She's a joke. The fact that she's a pilgrim and she has like probably one of the coolest designs for pilgrims, I can't wait for her to get a favorite item. I need her to get a favorite item because she's garbage. She's just garbage. No damage, no use on your team. She's not adding anything to the team. Like, she's not doing nothing. She's so bad, it's crazy. But now that I'm looking at this tier list, right, this ranking from 10 to 16, would I say this is right? I would. I don't think this is a wrong opinion. I think the only thing people would get mad about is Cinderella being at 3 and not higher than Crown. That's probably the only thing, but in reality, I think Crown is just better. I think supports have more longevity. Don't get me wrong. Cinderella's damage is just so high where I would understand if it was like this. And I don't know. This doesn't look wrong to me either. This doesn't look wrong to me, but this definitely doesn't look wrong to me. So I don't know what I want to do there. I don't know. Because she's so good. She's so good. It doesn't look wrong to me. It generally doesn't. Do I have her at number 2, y'all? I'm gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna let you guys in the comments down below let me know what you think, or what you would switch, but I don't know. Her damage is so good that it just like outshines Crown, but overall, like, Crown makes any of these burst 3 DPSs very good. Like, she's increasing damages of all these characters by a huge percentage, and that's what like a lot of people don't get. Yes, you need Naga for that, or yes, you do need another healer for that who can actually keep her up for all that, but it doesn't change the fact that it's still the case. So I'm gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna have Red Hood 1. I agree with that all the way. Cinderella 2. I don't disagree with that. Crown at 3, also don't disagree. Scarlet at 4, Modernia at 5, don't disagree. Grave at 6, I do agree. I don't think Grave is a low tier character. A lot of people are making it seem like Grave is a bad character, when it's so funny to me because people be like, Grave is a bad character, while she's sitting there not type advantage with like 300 million damage as a sub DPS. Mind you, Grave is a supporter. She's a burst 2 supporter, a sub DPS, and she's hitting 300 million, not type advantage. Hello, what are we talking about? Of course I'm gonna have her number 6 if she's doing all that. She's crazy. And then from there on, I agree. Everything from 8 to 10 I agree, or 8 to 16 I agree with this completely. I don't think this is wrong at all. I honestly think this is perfect. You guys let me know what you think though. It's up to you guys, right? If you agree, then like the video. If you don't, then don't. But I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace.